Hey everyone, how's it going? Yeah, so today I'm just getting some relics cleaned up and getting the rust off, chipping off all the rust and stuff. My throat's a little scratchy. I removed a tree a couple days ago, two big maple trees. Had a branch hit me in the throat, so it's kind of scratching my throat a little bit, but sorry about that. But anyway, wanted to bring you along to show you the progress we're having with some of these relics. These are some of the most recent finds I've had, so you'll probably recognize them from the more recent videos, but check them out. So here is one of those irons. You see how nice it cleaned up? Got a number 5 on that one. Here's a different style. Can't really tell the number on it. What I've done is I've gone in and I've just kind of ground down the big chunks of rust off of it and hit it with this pressure washer. There's that nice axe I found. Really nice shape. And a couple other tools I have cleaned up, ready to get cleaned a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and preserve them. There's another iron. I think those are basically the same. Well, no, they're not the same. It's too bad they're missing the handles. And not sure what that piece is. And here's that little knife piece. It's not actually a knife. I still don't know what that is. Still have to figure that out. It looks homemade. Yeah, it's really neat. So just out cleaning up relics. And I got a whole pile of stuff that's been building up the last couple weeks. I got to get cleaned and processed to figure out what it is and get that stuff preserved, So, yeah, Model T Ford valve stem cap. Yeah, lots of pieces. This is when I take my time and figure out what this stuff is, if it's worth putting up, putting in a box, saving for later, and trying to ID the stuff, trying to put dates to the stuff, and yep, just processing. Got to chip a lot of rust, clean them up, get them as nice as can be, but still keep that old finish to it. Y'all remember that, right? Found that the other day in my last hunt. I'm pretty sure that's a tin cup, or at least a copper cup or something like that. That's what I can figure out right now. So, alright, so let's just get to it. Show you how I do this. Just try to get all the rust off of it as I can. Every little bit. You see the sludge coming off of it. Yeah. You get as much rust off as you can. That's the key. Because then when you do preserve it, there's no layer there in between. Yeah, these are nice little relics. Let's see what that bottom looks like. Now back in the old day, they used to have to sand these down real nice and smooth. They have to keep them sanded with sanding paper because when they used them, they usually had two of them going at the same time. One would be heating up while the other one was in use, and they didn't last a long time as far as the heat. Once you took it off the heat and you started using it, it cooled down pretty quick. So they'd have the second one available. But yeah, solid irons have been around for a long time. See all the crud coming off that one. I had ground these down, ground off all the hard rust, all the big thick rust. And then I've just soaked them in water for the last few days. But they build up a film, like a rust film on them. That's what we're getting off right now. Just Just knocking that little rusty film off. And then I'm just gonna let them dry, and then I'm gonna treat them. Alright, now we'll just put those in the sun and we'll let them dry. Be back at you. Oh yeah, those are looking nice already. Yeah, gonna be nice relics. Nice iron relics. We'll let those sit there in the sun, dry up. Let's clean up some of this stuff. Let's see what we get. Usually when you clean it up, you can start to tell what it was. Give you a better idea, at least. Some of this I've been successful at unfolding, especially the copper pieces if they're a little thicker. Well, that's definitely not a cup, is it? It's got that hole in the middle. You know what? That might be a candle holder. That's what I'm thinking that is. You held it with your finger and the candle would come up. Yep. I'll bet you anything that's what that was. And then the candle would slide through that hole and stick. Yep. Interesting. I have another candle holder right over here. As you see, this is the concept of it. Has the handle right there, and you just kind of hold it and the candle goes in the center. Yep. Pretty sure that's just a smaller version of it. Here's some of my stuff. You know, I collect the spoons and stuff. This is... Say hi. Hi. That's my daughter Riley. She's going to be a treasure hunter too. We got some shoes and some hose, and got some nice little toy guns.
I don't see any shoes.
Yeah. Pieces to everything, you name it. Buttons. This is filled with buttons and filled with bullets. Nice little colonial right there. And filled with jewelry. Yeah, we find all kinds of stuff. Here's that last Boyd's ceramic. I did a little research on that. And then odds and ends.
Tons of them.
Rivets that you find.
What's a rivet?
Knives. You know, look at that one. That's nice, huh?
That's old.
Yeah, lots of nice stuff. Tons and tons of stuff. Got your Model T Ford stuff,
and
license plates, and a little Loch Ness monster. Yeah, isn't that neat? Missing the head.
And a leg.
Yeah. Shotgun shells that I just keep here on display.
And that old puppy.
Yeah. And lantern parts of every make and design. And glass. I got a lot of melted glass from hunts before. Just pieces to everything. And this is my little farmer stuff over here. Yeah, nice stuff. Lots of rain guides. I got tons of these rain guides. I really like the brass ones, but the iron ones are much older. I got a little timepiece in there that I'm going to be working on soon. Just kind of try to clean it up a little bit better than that. We'll get to that soon. And a few buckles that I display. A few little toy guns, and then that's the real 1870s 32 caliber Whitneyville. Still haven't found any other parts to that. And there's my colonial statue up there. Kind of hard to see, I know. A few little toys that I display, and a few little buttons that I found along the way that I display. And you know, boxes upon boxes of relics. So I need to clean this stuff. Maybe some of it.
Most of it.
Figure out what we have. It's too bad that's broken. Lots of iron.
There was a knife.
Alright, so I'll get right back to you. Alright, so let's see if we can unfold this a little bit. See what we have. You gotta be real gentle with it. Got a few tools here. It's nice and easy. What I usually do is I usually heat it up. Yeah, it's kind of brittle. See, it's splitting already. I don't think that's gonna make it. Even if I do heat it up, it probably won't bend. But that's what that is. That's a candle holder right there. But we'll stick that in the hot oil bath. Heat up that metal. Get it pliable again, and then we'll see if we can get this thing bent back a little bit. I hate to just throw this away. It's it's a nice historical relic. Just needs a little bit of straightening to be identifiable. You don't have to straighten it all the way. You just have to straighten it enough to be able to tell. So let me wash that off a little bit more, and then we'll let that dry, and then we'll stick it through a hot oil bath. Yeah, there's still crud coming out. Alright, that's probably good. Alright, let's let that dry too. And once that's dry, we'll stick it through an oil bath. Yeah, this stuff is drying up nice. Let's flip it over. Get some air under it. That way we can go ahead and preserve this stuff. Nice. Alright. Now, for things like this, there's a couple ways you can do this. You can tumble this stuff, but tumbling kind of gives that appearance that it's came right out of an antique shop. I like to keep some rust on it, but not a whole lot. Just take your time and chisel off enough where it still looks pretty decent. I don't want it to look brand new. It's hard to do this one-handed. I don't want to chip too much off. This is just a little chisel I made. It gets right into those tight spots. Knocks that rust off. I'm going to keep some of those threads on there. Yeah, so we can knock a lot of this stuff off without harming it. Keep this looking pretty decent. I don't want it to look brand new. I don't want it to look like it's been remanufactured in any way. I want it to look like it came out of the ground. I want it to still have rust on it, but I want that rust to be preserved on it. See, if you start taking too much, it'll chip. See that? You don't want to chip it too much. Usually when I have two hands, I can clean this up really nice, but one-handed. Hope you get my drift here. If you hit it with a wire brush, that helps too, but you don't want to take too much off. You still want to maintain that nice relic. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. stuff like this. You see that still has rust bubbles on it. It's not completely smooth. It looks like it was just found yesterday, but it's preserved that way. It's still identifiable. That's a scale weight, by the way. Yeah. And like this. You know, that's not tumbled. That's hand cleaned. It still looks like it came out of the ground yesterday. That's what I want. It's just been chipped down a little bit. The big crusty rust come off. You know, I haven't really worked on this one, but I've worked on that chain a little bit. I kept some of the crust on it. I haven't really worked on that yet either. And I just went ahead and sprayed these and just preserved them just as they were. I left all the big rust on it because I like that look. That big rusty look. Yeah. To me, that's important. You don't want it to get, you know, perfectly smooth, you know, like it came right off the assembly line somewhere. No, this stuff was found in the ground. You want it to maintain that image. That's what I want to do. Maintain that nice relic recovered from the ground image. So, rust does matter. You don't want to take it all off. I think that's looking pretty good. In the sense of these, I did go ahead and knock down all the rust all the way down as far as I could, because with an item like this is a smooth item. This is something that needs to look nice and smooth. It went inside the home, so it needs to be nice and clean. But that farmer stuff, that looks better with chunks of rust on it. So this is still a little chunky, which is pretty good. I mean, that's got a nice look to it. That's going to look nice on somebody's display. I thought about having a handle put on it. I could weld a couple handles on it. And I may do that with one of these, or one of my older ones. I don't know. Just to see if I can put a handle on it and have it still appear original. But I don't know. The broken handles, they do mean something. You know, these things were used and dropped, and the handle probably broke off, and it was no use to them anymore, so they discarded them. You know, that event of that handle breaking off, that means something. You know, that's history. That's human contact. Yeah, so nice relics. Alright. Some nice tools. It's drying up nice. Alright, so I'm going to work on this a little bit more, clean that up, and then spray it down, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Alright, so I went ahead and just chipped it up a little bit, and that's going to be the finished product right there. That's about as clean as I want to get it. There are a couple chip marks in it, but those will cover up when it goes to the oil bath. And that looks like a nice rain guide. Nice relic. This one has some age to it. The iron ones are a little bit older than the bronze, the copper and brass. Yeah, really nice. Yeah, super. Alright, so we'll let that dry, and then we'll put that in the bath as well. These things are almost ready to go in the bath. Yeah, almost. Alright, let's go ahead and fire up the oil bath. See you in a minute. Alright, so we're almost ready. The oil is just about ready, and I got my little thermometer so we can see what kind of temperature we have in the oil. Check it out. Yeah, just a little fryer. Where we at? 237 degrees. Nice. Yeah, I got it set at 400. You don't need it that high for iron, but let's go ahead and put our first piece in. We're going to put this piece of iron in there. It's kind of heavy. Alright, let's see what happens. See what it looks like when we're done. Looking for that nice, that coat over it. I'll fry it up real nice in there. You hear that popping in there? There's a little bit of water left over, I think. Or rust at the bottom. Rust maintains moisture for a long time. This oil is going to seal. It's going to create a coat all the way around this thing. Yeah, not too bad. Slowly going up. Alright, I'm going to leave that in for a few minutes and then I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. See ya. Alright, so we just passed 300 degrees and that's right where I want this. 300's perfect. So what we're doing is we're sealing this up and making it look pretty decent as a relic, maintaining that nice relic look. This thing's gonna be hot. It's probably the most heat that iron's seen since it was last used. Yeah, see that? That turned out pretty nice. And we can put a polish to that if we wanted to. Yeah, that's a nice little iron. Alright, let's clean up the other ones. It doesn't take long once it's in. You just want to bring the temperature of that steel up to the temperature of the oil. As you can see, it will take a while to get up to that temperature. And once it's at the temperature of the oil, then we're good. It doesn't take long. Yeah, nice hot oil bath for metal. It strengthens the outside of it. It creates a hard shell. It strengthens that steel. Iron is naturally brittle, and when you apply heat in an oil bath, it tightens up the chemical nature of it. So that's how you preserve. Cheap method of preserving. I don't like electrolysis because I think it makes metal brittle, and it's already brittle. So, you know, just give it a nice hot oil bath, cleans it up, preserves its look, and it'll keep it from rusting. Yep. Still has that nice antique look though, see that? Still has some rust in it. But that's all sealed over now, so it's not going to continue to rust. Let's see what the temperature is. Yeah, it's climbing. It takes a while to heat up a big chunk of iron like that. Just a few minutes. That isn't long. Alright, so I'll get back to you when that's finished. Yeah, so now our iron is just about the same temperature as the oil. So now we can bring it up, bring it out. Yeah, that looks nice. Looks nice. Alright, let's throw the last one in. it's got that number 5 on it that you can see pretty good. Try to get that oil all over it. Now the starting temperature of that iron was 67 degrees, and immediately it jumped up to 120. But the oil's 358 degrees. Yeah, that turned out nice. That's a nice relic right there. Beauty. Beauty. And that's how I preserve my iron relics. Right there. Certainly looks a lot different than when it came out of the ground. It's not going to look brand new. I don't want it to look brand new. I want it to look just as old as it looked when I pulled it out of the ground, but cleaned up. That's the kind of relic look I'm looking for. I can't tell what was written on there. I can't tell what was on there, if there was anything. What kind of temperature we got on it now? Oh yeah, it's climbing fast. Alright, so I'll be back at you in a minute. Yeah, this one's done. We can go ahead and pull that one out now. Now, everybody has their own way of cleaning their relics to how they think they should look. But this is my way. Like it or not, this is how I clean my relics. Through many years of trying different methods, this is my favorite method. It's fast, it's easy, and it preserves the best that I've found yet. So, yep. Alright, so with things like this, it doesn't fit in there. So I just kind of set it in like that, and I use a spoon and I just run it down and the longer you let it sit in there, the faster it's going to come up the temperature. It's not just the oil we want on there, we want it to heat up. We want that temperature to get it as hot as we can with the oil. Let's see what that temperature is. If you can get it close to 300 degrees, the better. But anything that we're doing right now is helping this piece of metal out. It's preserving it. It's going to keep it. Okay, you see it bubbling up here? Yeah, it's nice, that's what I want. It's eating away at it. Perfect. See that? Yep. I could probably straighten that if I got it a little hotter, but I don't want to. I want to keep that bent. That's the way I found it. Nice. Nice old iron relic right there. Beautiful. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and heat those up. I want to see if I can get that straightened. And let's preserve that while we're at it. Let's heat that up, see how hot we can get it. There's a little water on it, so it's probably gonna sizzle a little bit. But that's okay. It'll knock that water out of there pretty quick. I just don't want to stand too close to it. What kind of temp we at now? Yeah, about 350. I'd like to see if I can bend that back a little bit, at least straighten it up. If I can get that to 300 degrees, it'll bend up pretty good. I might have to do that a few times. Alright, let's pull that out. That's looking nice. Yeah, that's looking real nice. Nice little antique. I don't know if that's gonna bend, but I'm sure gonna try. I've had success bending things back before in a nice hot oil bath. Alright, let's give it a whack, see what happens. I think I'm going to use my bigger one actually. Alright, let's see if we can get that thing to bend a little bit. See if we can get that handle up. It's kind of hard doing this one-handed. Probably should put the camera down, straighten it, and be back at you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Let me put the camera down, let me straighten that, and then I'll get back at you. Yeah, unfortunately that is just too brittle to straighten. If it was a little thicker, I'd be able to straighten that a little bit better than that, but it's just spent too much time in the ground. Still hard to tell what that was though. I don't know if it was a candle holder. I got the handle straightened out. You can see what kind of design was on that. Nice little pattern. But there's nothing we can do with that. I'll save this piece. That's a nice little relic. But yeah, nothing we can do with that, unfortunately. It's way too thin. And it's just falling apart. Oh well. Alright, so yeah, drying up nice. That's it. They're sealed. Nice and coated, sealed, ready for display. Alright. Yeah, so tomorrow, bright and early, I'll see you on a nice treasure hunt. I think I'm gonna go, yeah, that site where I had airplane path. That site where I had found all those mason jar lids. I think I found most of the mason jar lids. So now let's see what else we can find. So I'll see you then.